Happy New Year and welcome to our first regulatory wrap of 2024. It's traditionally a time of year where we put our New Year's resolutions into action and form new habits, and it's no different for regulators. We've seen organisations like the SEC and FINRA set out their regulatory priorities for the year, which have given firms fair warning of where they perceive the material risks to persist. An area that will absolutely be one to watch this year will be non-financial misconduct. We saw the beginnings of this through 2023, with regulatory rhetoric beginning to touch on the importance of individual conduct and culture, especially from the Financial Conduct Authority in the UK. Both Therese Chambers' Do the Right Thing speech and Emily Shepherd's address on cultural evolution set out the importance of conduct and behaviour and why firms might need to make sure their moral compasses are well calibrated. And it's the FCA again leading the conduct charge into 2024. As part of the ongoing Treasury Select Committee's Sexism in the City investigation, Sarah Pritchard, the FCA's Executive Director for Markets and International, told MPs that the regulator would be intensifying efforts to tackle non-financial misconduct across the city. Wholesale banks, insurers and brokers will be required to provide data on the number of complaints of non-financial misconduct in their businesses, as well as methods of detection and resolution. A source close to the issue said that participation will not be optional, with Pritchard stating the FCA expects to complete its analysis of the data by the summer. This is the first time the FCA has set out to establish an industry-wide census of the level of non-financial misconduct across the sector, and as ever, it will fall to compliance teams to adapt to this emerging regulatory focus and ensure their firms are proactively monitoring for non-financial misconduct. A communications monitoring and surveillance strategy, which looks at conduct and culture, used to be a nice-to-have for compliance functions, but it's now looking like a must-have to meet all regulatory requirements. Whichever strategy they choose to employ, firms that ignore the FCA's clearly laid out focus on this new area do so at their own risk. Join us again next week for another regulatory wrap.